Hello and welcome back to Soul Spa University, where we talk all things interesting. Thank God on this topic, Tom's going to take the wheel. He did his own research on a time traveler story, and it's a real treat for me because I get to just sit back and listen. I have a snack ready, and so grab your drink of choice, guys. Ready? Even that if that's healthy water. Yeah. And we're going a little crazy because we had quite the day, which if taped would be amazing bestsellers. But yeah, lots of things we have to censor on here, and that's what we do. And I am opening my snack. And yes, today's is the same topic as we've been doing, which is time travel. And I shared a story, and now he's going to share a story. So it's been a great story time treat for me. Yay, yay, yay. Got my stuffed bunny here. Everyone's excited. Muffin, you ready? Oh my God, she just looked over. Oh, whoa, he is ready. You're here to join the party. Tommy's gonna tell us a story. All right, go ahead, Tommy. How you doing?
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm going to be talking about a time traveler today, supposedly. Please, before that, like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that we don't disappear in time as well. So this is a man that was born, well, this is a man from the early 1900s. His name was Paul Denatch. Now, Paul Denatch was a teacher, and he was diagnosed in 1921 with a sleeping sickness. So, I mean, back in the day, I don't even know what that means. I mean, I thought it was like insomnia or something weird like that. But he had fallen into a coma for a year. And so, when he got out, whatever, he went and he decided to move to, I believe it was Italy.
He fell into, sorry, I'm trying to stir this almond butter and it is not cool. He fell into a coma for no reason.
Well, his sleeping sickness, his disease that was like knocked him, basically put him down. No, that's what I was thinking of, narcolepsy.
Okay.
No, they called it a sleeping sickness back then, but it was the 1920s, so they didn't know what the hell was going on. So yeah, it was most likely, but narcolepsy, at least you sleep here and there, but he went into a full coma for a year. So anyway,
that's crazy out of nowhere. That's just nuts.
Yeah. So he did that. And then afterwards, he's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and move. So he moved to Italy from Germany. And this man was a German teacher. And so when he was there, he had fallen again into another coma, but this one only lasted a couple of months, not a full year. So afterwards, he just went back into his teaching, and he had a student that, was actually his favorite student. And that man's name was George Papahasis. These names are rough.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you get this right? Because some audience members also have ADD and have lost their attention. So he got out of the coma after a year, you're saying, right?
The first time, yeah.
And then went back in how long later?
It was like a couple of months. They didn't specify how many, but they say a couple of months. So it could be 2, could be 8, who knows?
Okay, a couple months after his original coma. And then how long was he in that coma for?
1 year.
Another year.
The second time, no, a couple of months. The first time was a year.
Okay, how long was the second coma after the first coma?
They did not specify. They simply said a couple of months.
Okay, and it was also in it for a couple months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, we don't know how to edit, so that's on.
That's okay. So anyway, George Papahasis was his favorite student, and this man was a German teacher. So anyway, he was diagnosed with excuse me, sorry, ambulance are going by like crazy here. So
Beautiful.
he was diagnosed with a, I believe it was cancer or some form of like lung cancer or something like that. And so he's like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm going to move again. So he decided to move again. This time, I believe he moved to Greece. And I might be getting those backwards. It might be Greece the first time, Italy the second, but whatever. So anyway, he left his notes with George, and he said, "Don't." He left a briefcase of what he told George. Do not open this until I leave, and don't show anybody.
He was leaving because he had cancer.
Yeah, he got sick again, and he's like, I'm not gonna waste my life just sitting here teaching. I'm gonna go enjoy my life.
Okay, cool.
So he left, and he left his briefcase with George, and he told him, "Don't open until I leave. Don't tell anybody about it." So he says, "Fine." So George thought these were going to be notes on, German or whatnot, or although he was kind of skeptical, like, why wouldn't I show anybody? It's the secret. So he did that. He waited until he left, and he opened them. But what he found was thousands and thousands of pages that were written by Paul that depicted that when he was in a coma, he was not here. He woke up in a coma, like he woke up in the year 3906. There we go. Got that down.
Now we're talking.
And at that time, he woke up as a person named Andrew Northman, who was a scientist that was also in a coma. So he woke up as him.
I love this. I love this.
So apparently in the future, he explains to these people that, something was wrong. He's not from this time. So they told him, we understand this has happened before. They didn't go into specifics as to who this happened to or anything like that. But they explained to him all this like crazy information, like that in the year, they told him like little information that wouldn't affect his timeline, his time, because it's too far into the future. But they gave him like a little bit of specifics. They're like from year 2000 to 2020 to 2200, the world, I'm sorry, 2300, the world will have like real economic problems. You'll face a lot of these little skirmishes type / wars, and the nutritional issues with the world would be like, like a little bit out of hand, which all of these things are true. They actually came to be now. I mean,
what you're trying to tell me my snack is?
Yes, but that's the problem though. It's a little vague, and it's a little like, yeah, sure, that could happen.
Okay,
but
so can I just ask a couple, because I know you said not to ask them all at the end and to ask during. So
yeah, of course.
I hate to interrupt you, but I know this is your request.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so when he woke up, he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't even know who Andrew is. I just," and like eventually he got the words out that he's not even from this time period, right?
No, not in this time. In that time, in the
In
future.
that time, right, yep. And they were like, "It's cool, bro. This happens all the time."
This has happened before, is what they told him. A few times.
With him or in general?
In general.
What?
Yeah. Oh, it gets a lot crazier. A lot crazier.
I am excited. I'm glad I had those couple things to hold me over because I am ready.
So what ended up happening with George and these papers is that George decided to, first investigate, see if this is real. So he started like asking around, and then he also started writing what later became a book. And he asked some of his friends who were Freemasons. And Freemasons was technically a secret society. Everybody knows about them now. and his notes and the book that he started writing were all confiscated by them. And they stated that this would have a negative impact on human society if it ever got out.
Wow. I wonder why
So
they think that.
the story gets a little crazier. So you'll see. Uh, so he eventually, like, got away from them, and well, not they didn't try to like kidnap him or anything, but they try to like strong arm him into saying like shut your mouth, don't say a word.
They're like, shut the
So
book up. And it's like a rap video from nowadays. Wait, when does this take place again?
the 19 what was that? 1970, 1960s, or late 1960s is when he started doing the book.
Nice, nice.
So anyway, he eventually got away, and he in 1972 he completed the book because apparently he had copies and he didn't tell them about that. He said, "Oh, this is all I know. This is all that yada yada." So he completed the book in 1972, and it's called Chronicles from the Future, which after it came out got ridiculed by the church,
Of course. Is it the Vatican?
of course, and a bunch of higher powered people in the world were like, "This is garbage. It's not real. Yada yada, all that shit." So, but it became widely popular with a lot of scientists. A lot of scientists.
Nice, nice, good, good.
So that's that on that book. Back to Paul. So anyway, Paul goes on with the rest of the story from the future because they're like, "Listen, we're just going to tell you about a certain amount of time that can't affect your time, and then we're going to tell you further on down the road. Like, of course, this is not going to affect your time either, but just to have it, just in case something wants to vary."
Wait,
So
they're telling when he's in a coma, the future people are telling him.
yeah, so because he's awake in the other world, I'm sorry, awake in the other time
Okay.
as Andrew Northland. So he finds out that in the year 2204, the Earth colonizes Mars.
What year?
2204.
2204.
Yes.
Oh my God, that is like, what are we in? 20.
Yeah, that's way past our time.
Oh my God. Oh, what?
Yeah, so Elon Musk doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's putting in the freaking groundwork, but it's a long ways away.
I've heard such other things, but if you want, I will save that from other travels.
Okay, well, it's the colonization. It's not the us going there and checking it out. Colonization is a big deal.
All right.
So anyway, in this, it's 22 million people that end up colonizing Mars.
Hmm. That makes sense.
So that goes on for a little while, and then he also finds out in 2265 a natural disaster on Mars kills them all, wipes out the whole entire colony.
Wow.
So that's when they realize, that's when Earth decides that, okay, it's space is too unpredictable. We know what we know about Earth because we have so much time here, but space and all these planets are too unpredictable. And so they decide, we're not going to colonize anything else. We're going to stay on Earth.
Now that's like 40 years after they colonized it.
This 60 years after is when everybody died.
After they colonized it initially. And
Yeah, 61 years
everyone
after they colonized it.
everyone died or most of them?
All of them. Yeah, all of them.
Wow.
So he finds that out, and then he finds out in the year 2309. They didn't specify what, but a great disaster happens on Earth. Nobody knows what, but this disaster basically puts everybody at each other's throats,
Oh.
and creates a global war, which is the World War.
Mm.
And this World War almost wipes out humanity completely. So after which, the world, because of what happened and because how how devastating this war becomes, the world gets together and makes a parliament, makes like, a world government.
Mhm.
And now this world government that wants peace and everything, is also being ridiculed as to be like it's totalitarianism. All these people. It's just it's basically like it's basically like having a king. It's like you can't. There's no checks and balances.
Oh,
But eventually, yeah, eventually they
like
come
a,
to
like a dictatorship.
basically, but it's not one person. It's each country has like it's almost like United Nations how it is now, but with power. Because that anyway, that happens. So finally, they're like, fine, whatever, cool. We're gonna go ahead and control everything. So everything becomes better after a while. In the beginning, people become lethargic. Nobody's working. Nobody's doing anything. It's basically like that movie, Wally.
I love one.
So you know how all those fat people are in chairs floating.
Oh yeah.
Basically, that's basically what society becomes for a while. It's a bunch of freaking lazy motherfuckers that don't want to do anything. So after what is that? About 80 years later, in people, eventually they get over that because everything starts going up. 80 years later, in 3382, people uh, evolve to the point where they get this thing called hypervision, and they didn't explain how. They don't explain where the hell it comes from. But basically, hypervision is a direct access to unlimited knowledge and clarity. So, and this is everybody. And so, when this, I don't know if it's evolution, I don't know, they didn't explain. When this evolution happens to the human race, they establish it so that just so that they can have some kind of economy still, or whatever. And because they're so far advanced, that the lifespan of anybody is from the ages of 17 to 19. Only 2 years of working in your life.
Of working or your lifespan?
Working.
Okay, because
Actual work, like going to work.
I thought you okay, because I thought you said lifespan. Okay.
No. It's 2 years of work for your whole life because this hypervision apparently makes it so that people are just ruining the freaking, let's say they're doing amazing in the market or whatever the hell. They're doing so well in these 2 years
Yeah.
that us now would take our lifespan.
Okay, cool. That's amazing.
So that's the directive of that everybody gets 2 years of work, and then the rest is based on like doing whatever they do, but to expand human consciousness and human like evolution. But here's the other thing: because of the war that happened, and at this point, the populace really stops reproducing. There's only 1 billion people on Earth,
Wow.
and that's the basis of this. And they don't specify that's what he says about this future thing. This is all that I've learned so far. I've not read the book yet. I really want to.
Yeah. It's interesting because Elon Musk does that's his number one fear is like the limited population. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So the only here's the downfall of Paul. Now I told you in the beginning, Paul was a bit of a German, and this is back in the day, and they don't know exactly what happened, but there's theory that him and his family kind of fought for someone bad in a world war, and that's what happened to Paul and his family. They don't know exactly what. So he disappeared.
This is the guy that had narcolepsy that time traveled.
Yes.
Okay, well now I don't even want to ask questions, and I want to ask questions because of the content, but you put me in a weird position for the audience here.
No, talk all about it. It's perfectly fine. They don't really they don't say anything about that. They don't go into that detail too much. They just give out that one little nugget, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he may have been a Nazi. Who knows?"
All right. That aside, I want to make a joke, but I can't. I can't because even if
Of
it's
course you can.
even if it's well, I was gonna say hobbies aside, let's focus on what happened to him. No, but yeah, no, I feel bad now, horrible.
But that is the story of Paul Dinach, and it's actually pretty famous. And I actually really want to read this book.
Oh, for sure. All right. Do you remember anything else he said in there? Like about the lifespan of humans or anything?
They didn't specify lifespan. They just specified the work timeline.
Okay. And just to reiterate, guys, this happens when we're no longer alive, so no one has to worry.
Yeah, this is 300 years into the future, people.
I mean, if you sign up for these lifetimes, great. I mean, for once, I was actually sad that we're not going to be around to see certain things. Like, for once, I really got, like, in a way that I've never gotten before, like, how short life is. Because I'm like, oh my God, I was hoping that would be in my lifetime. And oh my God, I was hoping that would be my lifetime. And oh my God, like, I want to see all these things. And I realized, oh my God, life is so short now, especially given with with what I've been researching about time travel and what they say from the future, supposedly, and our lifespans there. It's so short right now, which, on a deep level, I joke like, oh, thank God, but really it's like, I'm hoping to see some stuff in this life, like I'm hoping. I mean, I got some news too, from some time travel research. So from what I hear, we're going to see some stuff. Um, but yeah, interesting.
I mean, think about it. We've already seen some crazy shit in our lives because, I mean, look, back in the 1980s, we all had rotary phones and all this stuff. Now look at this. I'm talking to you on my phone and I could see you perfectly. Like we are in the future. Granted, it's not flying cars and all that stuff, but I mean, we already have cars that can drive themselves. So this is pretty nuts compared to what we thought was going to happen in the 2000s.
Cam, you think your car can drive itself,
I
but
can. No, no.
that explains all the accidents.
They're not accidents because I drove away. So it didn't happen.
Oh, I thought you meant like you leaving our interactions are not accidents. Okay, never mind. Anyway, all right. So, all right. Anyway, yes, guys, I have a lot to share about time travel experiences as well. It's going to be in the next podcast. Stay tuned. And I'm trying to think what else there is to ask about this. Or, I mean, I really want to hear that book. I hope it's on audio because I don't have time to just sit and read. I wish I did, but I hope to find that. Maybe it's on YouTube or something.
Maybe. I mean, if it was as popular and as like controversial as they say, that's got to have some kind of YouTube thing or like audio thing.
Yeah.
Maybe even a movie.
I time travel a ton. I don't know if I told you this. Oh, you know what? I'll keep it for the next segment.
Oh, nice teaser for everybody. Hey, everybody, you want to learn about time travel and hear her story? Follow us at Soul Spa University and hit that notification bell. And also, hey, why don't you like and subscribe and comment down below. Let us know about any stories that you know about time travel, or if you heard about time travel. If you believe in it at all. If you don't, that's perfectly fine too. You're closed-minded. Who knows? Anyway, if you want to talk to Christina and have a session, not talk to, don't be creeps. If you want to have a session with Christina, you can find her at
soulspyuniversity@gmail.com. And Tom, you mentioned closed-minded. You mean how I met you? Oh. And now your mind just a little open, just a little open. I could drink a little less.
I can honestly say that that's not incorrect. That's pretty dead on. I, for a while there, was living pretty robotically. But I will thank Christina for kind of opening the door to my consciousness. Kind of.
It's squeaking. It's
Yeah.
squeaking. And that's why I drink a little less, and we'll see what the future holds.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.